I don't get super angry all the time, but when I watch this clip of Nicole Wallace, do they not have the video? I legit got angry. I called her an effing witch.
In this video, Tim Pool reports on MSNBC's response to Donald Trump honoring 13-year-old cancer survivor DJ Daniel at his recent speech before Congress. Specifically, Tim Pool discusses Nicole Wallace's disgusting comments about the inspiring moment right after the speech that has many on the right wing pissed off. With that, let's watch Tim Pool wreck this heartless ideologue, Nicole Wallace.
From The Independent, MAGA loses its mind over MSNBC host Nicole Wallace's sickening comments about Trump honoring young cancer survivor. Quote, MSNBC should fire Nicole Wallace, disgusting far-right pundit, far-right pundit Charlie Kirk raged following Nicole Wallace's remarks. I agree. I don't get super angry all the time, but when I watch this clip of Nicole Wallace, do they not have the video? I legit got angry. I called her an effing witch. Let me pull the clip up. I honestly,
a witch who belongs in hell.
Okay, look. Let me tell you guys the story. Do you guys know the story of this 13-year-old kid? Why he was there?
Multiple surgeries for brain cancer, correct?
How did Trump find out about him?
I don't know.
He was being bullied. He was being made fun of and mocked in a viral video because he dressed in his little police officer uniform because he wanted to be a cop. He was made an honorary officer after surviving brain cancer, and a bunch of other young people started filming him and making fun of him. Like, what are you going to do? Arrest him? And they were like, they were bullying him. It wasn't super brutal or anything, but they were bullying him. And so that's my understanding. I saw this viral video. Someone had said this kid was getting bullied, and Trump decided to bring him here and honor him and say, don't let them get you down. We're going to make you a Secret Service agent. Rachel Maddow called Trump disgusting for it, and Nicole Wallace, this one really got me pissed off, and I called her an effing witch. So where's that video at?
Well, it was artful too how Trump, he went straight from DJ to RFK, saying, hey, we want to reduce cancer rates. It was a brilliant transition. You think the Democrats would be behind it, a Kennedy and everything.
Listen to this from MSNBC.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ. And I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy.
What a vile, disgusting witch. Holy crap, man. That was so past the line. And then Rachel Maddow chimed in. New York Post reports Nicole Wallace and Rachel Maddow blasted for politicizing Trump's honor of a 13-year-old cancer survivor, DJ Daniel, sick and twisted. So let's pull up the Rachel Maddow quote.
I've always had this personal feeling that I don't like to see the right wing get worked up or offended by things, because I don't want to be like the other side. I've even gone so far as to ask myself, is there anything ever worth really being offended about? And I still don't know the answer, but I know this. If there's anything close to being appropriate to be offended about, it's Nicole Wallace and Rachel Maddow's response to what should have been a beautiful, inspiring story to everyone in the country, regardless of political party. But instead, she has to be an awful person and bring up January 6th. And you know what? I really believe this. I believe that she felt empowered to talk that way because she was sitting there with the most disgusting person on the planet, Rachel Maddow, who speaks like that every time she gets in front of a camera. If you or anybody you know ever questions whether or not there's a narrative at news networks, just play them that clip and ask them to be honest with themselves. There's so much more I want to say, but I'll let Tim get back to it.
Maddow bizarrely accused Trump of being disgusting for spotlighting DJ's heroic battle with the disease, for which the youngster had initially been warned would kill him in months. Quote, for the record, and this is disgusting, The president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who's thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that. Yo, kid was getting bullied because he wanted to be a cop. He had survived cancer. He wanted to be a cop. He still suffers issues from the numerous surgeries. He was giving interviews about this. And Rachel Maddow called Trump disgusting for honoring a child who survived brain cancer because he was getting bullied. These people are evil, man. They are zealous, cultist evil. This is insane. Have they no remorse? They only care about saying things that pander to their hive of scum and villainy.
I remember I saw that live too, because I wanted to see the liberal side of that. And when I watched it live, I couldn't believe it. I was like, how can he not be behind this? And what did you call it for the Republicans? It was bread from heaven?
Well,
Frank
Luntz called it manna from heaven for Republicans.
It was such a bad look.
But it's funny because that's like why moments like that are curated parts of a speech.
Yeah.
So that you can anticipate their reaction, and they gave Trump exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, but so
They're playing into his hand.
I somewhat agree because Trump knows the Democrats well. That's true.
He said, even if I came up with the cure for cancer, you wouldn't cheer and clap for me.
Yep. And Trump knows, and we all know them, but he didn't force him to do it. This could have been a layup for Democrats.
Right.
Yeah.
Democrats could have been magnanimous. They could have stood up and cheered for the child, and then afterwards said that they could have been reasonable, moderate on any of these issues. They could have said balancing the budget, of course, is a good thing. The insane thing is that when Donald Trump says this young child survived brain cancer, what a strong little man, and the Democrats just sit there stone-faced. It's like, dude, you are robots.
I think the one point at which they actually clapped was in order to cut Trump off mid-sentence when he said something about funding Ukraine. They were like, yes, yes, we did. Yes, we did send them billions of dollars, so that he wouldn't have a chance to finish the sentence.
Probably, but I do.
Smarmy, and then the rest of the time they're staring at their phones, pretending to fall asleep, and holding up stupid signs like they never grew past like student council. That's like, it's student council teacher's pet energy.
To be fair, some of them also stormed out in protest, and we only found out because they told us.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of falls in line with the thing that we've talked about before, which is if the Democrats would have been complimentary to Donald Trump in 2000.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
2016, when he first got in, they could have had anything they wanted. He is a deal maker. He would have done all kinds of things. I personally think that Donald Trump is more concerned with the way people treat him and with people liking him. So I think that he would have been significantly more inclined to do whatever they wanted if they'd have treated him nice, if they'd have, kissed his butt a little bit, treated him like the president. They'd have got whatever they want. But the thing is, they can't do that because they have it in their imagination. And I think this is because once Barack Obama was elected, the Democrats kind of felt like they reached an end of history point. Well, now from here on out, it's going to be Democrats forever. The Republicans are going to be a marginalized party that'll be, a small opposition. They'll be a regional party. They're not going to actually ever get into positions of authority again. That obviously proved to be not true. And so they freaked out because the left freaks out whenever they lose any institution, any amount of political power. They drop the ball and they can't do anything other than just be against whatever Donald Trump says.
Yeah, and Donald Trump has said he wants to reach out his hand and bring the other aisle in, and they keep slapping his hand down and saying no. And it's unbelievable. But watching Rachel Maddow in this situation too, when this was live, Rachel Maddow was fuming with anger about the speech, saying there were so many fact-check mistakes that she could not list them all in one show.
Which means
isn't
none.
that convenient? There are so many fact-check mistakes. I just can't even address any of them. That's real convenient. Now,
Look,
I mean, whatever they have, whatever these people have is incurable. And and they truly are of a reprobate mind because I think they have a spiritual.
Rachel Maddow in her disgusting comments said, like Donald Trump had anything to do with that, talking about DJ Daniels' recovery. Well, I'll tell you what, Rachel, ask DJ and his family today if Donald Trump has anything to do with it. He gave that family and that boy a memory that only their family can cherish together forever. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And just adding on to everything that Tim, the rest of the panel are saying, just you can almost sense in that room there's a feeling of real shock. I mean, they're all just kind of trying to do what I do on a regular basis, just articulate how evil and awful the Democrats are. And just piggybacking off of every accurate point that they made, the Democrat Party, the left wing, it never creates or builds anything. It disrupts, it complains, it whines, it acts like a victim, and it ultimately tears things down. Thank goodness there's a strong Republican Party right now. Honestly, thank God. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Problem. They have
I agree.
Spiritual bankruptcy among them. It's not something to do with their party affiliation. There are plenty of Democrats who would never act that way.
I completely agree. I was having a conversation about this earlier, and we talked a little bit about it before the show. But I think that this is not of all atheists or agnostics or whatever, but I think when an individual lives only in their own existence, when they don't care about others around them and how others feel, and when they don't care about, there's a couple ways you can phrase this, either God's will or the structure of the universe and our place in it is one way to phrase it, for those that are secular. These people live entirely in the self-gratification universe. The only thing that matters is they get what they want, they get self-gratification, they get to party, wake up at 6 in the morning. I'll keep it family friendly, but everyone knows what Chelsea Handler said. And I think the reason why you see right now in the culture war, largely Christians, are on the right advocating for things that I would describe it as this. Liberals advocate for a lifestyle that is destructive to the ends of civilization. And currently the right as a whole, largely Christian, is advocating for things that are protective and expansive to creation.
Hey, look at that. I haven't even seen this before. Tim Pool agrees with me. That's great. I may have said this before, but I'm not sure. Like, I really love to laugh and joke around, and I can't stand liberals. So instead of getting mad, I like to make jokes at their expense, even go a little too far sometimes. But I am a human being, and I think sometimes, you know what, man? Are you being too hard on them? Like, is this the right thing? Once in a while, I see a story that reminds me why I should have zero guilt, if not feel positive, about making fun of these truly evil people. Because I think for me, that's the best way to get at them, is to make jokes about them and show the world and show those people on that side in the world how unseriously they're taken. Anyway, I went off on a tangent, but this is the kind of video that reminds me why I like to do this, and it energizes me, it keeps me going. But we want to hear from you. I'd love to hear in the comments what you guys think about these two just awful ladies, if you can call them that. Ladies is too generous, probably. And their comments about DJ Daniel. Or leave a comment about something positive about DJ Daniel, because let's not let them ruin that just beautiful, beautiful story. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.